Hello and welcome back to KNF Design. If you're new here, my name is Katie and I try to bring a wide variety of different craft projects to you. If you ever have a craft project you would like me to show you how to make or just want to see me try to make it, let me know down below and I'll try my best to bring that to you. If you like today's craft project, make sure to hit those thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me and it helps bring my crafting videos to more crafters like you. Don't forget to also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way you don't miss out on any of our crafting fun. So with that, let's get crafting. Last week I showed you how to apply this wrap to a candle base of some sort that is removable, and so you can change it out for the different holidays. But today I'm going to show you how to put an image directly onto a candle. These are wax candles, they're real. Mine are a little bit used and actually they had some of the wax dripping down, so what I did is I just kind of used my finger to kind of scrape off that extra to make it as smooth as possible. You could also use candles that are fake. These are battery operated, but you just need to make sure that it's real wax. That way this will work. It needs that wax coating on it. I didn't use these because they also had that wax dripping, which cannot be removed like my real candles here. So just watch for that on those, that it's a smooth surface. And we'll see how that goes. I think decorative wise, 3 candles tends to be aesthetically pleasing. So those are the 3 I'm going to use. Since it's wax, so it doesn't get wax on my table, I have a plastic bag down, but that's not necessary. So besides the candles, you might also want a measuring tape to measure how your size that you need for your photo. I'm going to be showing you 2 different methods here. First, we'll just be taking this really pretty tissue paper, and I don't know if you can tell, but there are flowers on it that I thought would be really pretty. So I'm gonna transfer that directly onto a candle. So that's the more simple way, and option number 1. Option number 2 is going to use this white tissue paper. You don't need this many, you just need 1 sheet. I just brought my entire stack. Some white tissue paper, and I'm going to be transferring a photo onto one of my candles. I'm just using a photo. You could do an actual, like, any photo that you can print from the computer, and you will need computer paper to attach your tissue paper to so you can run it through your printer. So for this method you will need a printer. I have a laser printer, and technically for this, a inkjet, which is the typical type of printer, would work better. The laser printer that I have uses heat to do the printing, and that might mess up tissue paper. I'm expecting it to probably shrink the tissue paper a little bit, which might make it a little wrinkly, as well as kind of shrink the image just a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's not too bad. You also need some wax paper, some tape so we can attach it. And lastly, you need a heat gun. If you don't have a heat gun, you could also use a hairdryer, but just watch out when you're holding your candle and using your hairdryer. Your hand that's holding the candle is going to get very hot, so maybe use a mitt or something like that. The heat gun is also ideal because it can get a lot more heat in direct areas. So an actual hairdryer is going to take longer, and it just will get your hand more, things like that. So you can use it, and it should work fine. Just know you'll just need to be a little bit more patient and careful. So let's dig into this. First, I think I'm going to start with just the plain tissue paper since that's the easiest method. I cut my tissue paper down to size, and I made sure it was exact to my candle. I did not have any overlap at the top or the bottom there. And then I'm just wrapping it tightly around my candle. Next, I'm going to take my my wax paper and wrap it tightly around my wax paper. Try to make sure you don't have any creases or wrinkles. It's nice and smooth. Then all we have to do is take our heat gun and apply it to a candle. You may see some of the color darken as the wax paper and candle melt together here. But just keep going until you've gotten the entire candle heated up, and that wax paper can be removed to see if you need to apply more heat to the tissue paper in certain areas. But once all the tissue paper has melted to your wax candle, you just remove the wax paper covering, and you will be done. So this is what a candle looks like all finished with just the tissue paper. I do have a little bit of creases in mine, but that was more because my candle wasn't completely smooth because I used a used one. And if you don't get that tissue paper really nice and tight, and I moved it around a bit, so maybe a little bit of my wrinkles are from that as well. But it's nice how it just blends right in. It doesn't feel like it's separate from the candle anymore. It's melted into it. They have become one, and it's nice, smooth, and waxy feeling. Since that other tissue paper was really light colored, it was a little difficult to see, so I'm going to now do my next candle in this brighter color, and as you can see, I'm just kind of measuring it to know how much of my tissue paper to cut. It's a little hard with these candles because they are a little melted, and so those edges a little bit higher in some areas versus others. But I just wrapped it around the candle. You could also use a measuring tape as well, and then cut it with some scissors. Here is what a tissue paper candle looks like all finished. Even those edges adhere to that tissue paper well, and they don't come up or anything. It's kind of adhered well to the candle itself. And this color is a little bit easier to see than our other one, but I think they both turned out really nice. Now for the photo tissue paper, we just need to take a tissue paper and fold it around a piece of copy paper, and then tape to the end so it'll feed nicely through my printer. Here is how it turned out, and I am very pleased with how it turned out. It's nice, it's crisp. Even though I had a laser printer, it didn't wrinkle or anything else. I just cut this out. I took that paper that was printed and then just cut it out, so it's just the tissue paper here. But the colors look really nice, and I'm happy with how it turned out. So laser printers do work as well. Inkjet is probably recommended more so, but as you can see, the laser can work well as well. So now, same technique, we're going to apply it to our candle. So I'll wrap it around my candle nice and tight, no wrinkles, and then I will cover it with the wax paper and apply the heat gun to it. As I apply my heat to the candle and all the layers, pay close attention to the white tissue paper, and as you will observe, the white almost starts to become transparent as it kind of blends and melts into the candle, which is really nice. It might blend even better if it was a white candle versus this yellowy candle. And you can see I have a little bit of wrinkles here, but it'll still transfer pretty well. But I think it's really cool how that just blends in so seamlessly. It's just transferred seamlessly. You do see a little bit of the transition. Probably if I had a white candle, this would be better, but you don't feel the tissue paper anymore at all. It has become one with the candle. So here's all three of our candles. What do you think? Let me know if you do this down below. It's actually a lot easier than it seemed. Don't be intimidated by it. It'd make beautiful gifts as well. Thanks for crafting with me, and I'll see you next week.